If you've tried mushroom broth for immunity and didn't notice much difference, the issue might not be the broth. It might be how and when you're using it. In this video, I'm going to explain what mushroom broth traditionally supports, who tends to benefit the most, how often it's commonly used, and why timing and consistency matter more than people realize. This is general wellness education, not medical advice, and the goal is to help you use this in a way that actually makes sense for your body. Mushroom broth is a warm, savory liquid made by simmering mushrooms, often alongside vegetables or herbs to extract flavor and traditional wellness compounds. Across many cultures, mushroom broths have been used not as quick remedies, but as supportive, nourishing foods, especially during times when the body feels run down, stressed, or in need of extra care. Unlike supplements, broth is food-based. It's slow, gentle, and meant to be integrated into daily life rather than taken as a one-time fix. That difference matters, especially when people expect dramatic results right away. One reason mushroom broth feels different from teas or supplements is because it's experienced by the body as food, not as a targeted intervention. When you drink a capsule or a strong tea, the body often responds quickly and directly. With broth, the response is slower and more subtle. Broth tends to support the body in a background way. It doesn't ask the immune system to do something immediately. Instead, it provides warmth, nourishment, and steadiness, which can be especially helpful during times when the body feels taxed or depleted. This is why some people don't notice dramatic effects right away, but later realize they feel more supported overall. The body often responds to nourishment quietly, not urgently. One of the most common reasons people feel disappointed with mushroom broth is expectation. Some people drink it once or twice and expect to feel an immediate immune boost. When that doesn't happen, they assume it doesn't work. But traditionally, mushroom broth isn't about forcing a response. It's about supporting the body over time, especially during periods of stress, fatigue, seasonal changes, or recovery. Think of it less as a reaction and more as reinforcement. Mushroom broth tends to be most appreciated by people who feel run down or depleted, who experience long periods of stress, who are sensitive to seasonal shifts, or who prefer food-based wellness rather than capsules or powders. Some people notice subtle changes like feeling more stable, less drained, or better supported during busy weeks. Others don't notice much at all, and that's still useful information. Wellness isn't universal, it's personal. Mushroom broth is often used more intentionally during certain seasons or life phases. Many people naturally reach for it during colder months, when the body craves warmth and grounding foods. Others use it during seasonal transitions when energy feels inconsistent or the immune system feels more sensitive. It's also commonly used during recovery periods, not necessarily illness, but times of emotional stress, burnout, or prolonged busyness. These are moments when the body benefits from steady nourishment rather than stimulation. Using mushroom broth seasonally rather than year-round can help prevent burnout from wellness routines themselves. It allows the body to receive support when it's most needed without forcing consistency when it doesn't feel natural. There's no single rule for how often to use mushroom broth, but traditionally it's used consistently rather than constantly. Many people include it a few times per week, daily during high-stress periods or seasonal transitions, or as part of a short-term routine rather than something used indefinitely. What matters most isn't frequency alone, but regularity. Using it randomly doesn't give the body much context, but intentional use helps the body recognize it as part of a supportive pattern. More is not always better, even with nourishing foods. Some people assume that daily use automatically means better support, but that isn't always the case. Signs you might be overusing mushroom broth include feeling heavy, sluggish, or uninterested in it over time. Sometimes the body gives subtle signals that it's had enough, a lack of appetite for it, digestive discomfort, or simply not enjoying it anymore. These signals don't mean mushroom broth is bad for you. They usually mean it's time to pause, reduce frequency, or rotate it out for a while. Support works best when it's responsive, not rigid. Timing also plays a bigger role than people expect. Mushroom broth is often best used earlier in the day, midday, or in the early evening. Because it's savory and grounding, some people find it too stimulating right before bed, while others find it comforting. This is where paying attention to your own response matters. If it leaves you feeling steady and supported, that's useful feedback. If it feels heavy or disruptive, adjusting the timing may make a noticeable difference. Not all wellness changes are dramatic. Some of the more subtle signs people notice over time include feeling less depleted, recovering more easily after busy days, feeling more stable during seasonal shifts, or craving it less as a fix and more as nourishment. These quieter changes are easy to overlook, but they often matter more than immediate effects. Tracking how you feel over several days, rather than judging a single serving, gives you a clearer picture of whether mushroom broth is supporting you. One way mushroom broth becomes sustainable is when it fits naturally into your day. That might mean having it as a midday pause, pairing it with a quiet moment, or using it as a replacement for something that feels more draining. When wellness routines become chores, they stop working. The body doesn't respond well to obligation. But when something feels comforting, grounding, or genuinely supportive, consistency becomes easier without effort. The goal isn't to build another rule. The goal is to create moments of nourishment that feel realistic within your life as it is right now. Mushroom broth isn't for everyone, and that's important to say out loud. You may want to adjust or avoid it if you're sensitive to certain mushrooms. If savory broths upset your digestion, if it feels too stimulating or too heavy, or if it simply doesn't agree with your system. Wellness isn't about forcing routines just because they work for someone else. It's about choosing what supports you and letting go of what doesn't. This information is for general wellness education and traditional use only. It's not medical advice. If you have health conditions or concerns, it's always best to speak with a qualified healthcare professional. Mushroom broth works best when it's treated as nourishment, not a shortcut. If you found this helpful and you appreciate grounded, realistic wellness guidance, subscribe to the channel so YouTube knows to show you more content like this. I'll see you in the next video.